Okay, these guys actually seem to be doing pretty well on that side. Oh, I see that there are archers back there. Why don't we fire at them? I don't know that I fired at them in the actual battle, to be honest, but it kind of is what it is. Let's get the berserkers in here, actually, to help the bodyguard.
They have lost half their men.
All right, welcome back to the war. So there isn't much to talk about over here in the west. Everything is basically as it was. But let's head over to the north and to the east. Well, I guess to the south. But there's much to discuss, and most of it not good. Despite our great victory at Edoras, things I feel have almost taken a turn for the worse. But anyway, we have Ugluk up here in the north, still on his bridge. I did have him step off and destroy two very small forces of Rohan. I think one had 3 units and the other had a single unit. And the reason I did that, instead of just waiting on the bridge, is because this Rohan force seems to be heading off into the trees there, and I was wondering where they were going. Now, if I take my spy, you can see that there's actually a crossing right here that I didn't notice before. And so now I suspect that this force is intending to go for it. And it looks like they can reach it by next turn, though not cross it. So I guess if they do that, Ugluk could always make it there ahead of them. He can't right now, but that's because, remember, he fought 2 battles, and that's why he doesn't have his full movement range. We should be able to make it there before they do. The problem then is that now this bridge is open for, say, this small force or any of these forces down here to then cross the bridge. So Ugluk is having a bit of a hard time of it, and I was basically hoping that by destroying those 2 armies, maybe that would draw one or both of these forces to come down to his bridge instead of trying to go around him. Because now it kind of looks like their territory is open to attack by Ugluk. Lurtz is once again still standing on this bridge here, still staring at all of these Rohirrim, who are still not moving from their positions. I guess they don't want to challenge him on the bridge, and of course I can't really challenge them in the open field with his army either, so he's just pinning them here by his mere presence. And then we have Edoras. Or the area just outside of Edoras. I'm really kind of getting annoyed at just how many armies the AI can put into the field when they have so few settlements, because at the moment I think they have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I assume there's at least a 5th somewhere in here. So like 4 or 5 settlements, and yet they can have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 full armies, and I guess if you take like the rest of the forces and kind of mash them together, that should be a 5th army. So it's like they can have a full army, somehow afford a full army for every single settlement that they've got. And obviously I can't do that. I've got 8 regions, 8 settlements, and I can barely afford to keep 2.5 or 2 3/4 of armies in the field and still be like deeply, or not deeply, but in debt. As you can see, profits are not exactly very high. Unfortunately, partially that's because of Edoras. I had to lower the tax rate in order to keep them happy. If it goes any higher, then of course they'll be upset with us. And maybe if Saruman wins this battle here, we can put him back in Edoras and raise the tax rate again to try and offset that a bit. But then there's also the devastation caused by the armies that are here. It's also costing us money. But anyway, another thing, I guess, is that one of these armies Rohan did not train, but rather spawned out of thin air. I think I mentioned this on the very first turn, where once you get a faction's capital, or maybe once you get it down to a certain, well, small number of settlements, though I guess in this case it would have to be the capital, because they still have like 4 or 5 settlements, and so they're definitely not about to die yet. But anyway, I took the capital, and it triggered their I don't know what you would call it, their last stand army, or maybe their capital army, whatever you want to call it. So basically, this force just kind of spawned out of nowhere, and it's not exactly a pushover force. Then this force came, I think, from down south here. Maybe it came from Eldberg? But anyway, the point is that they're all here now, and I did have Saruman standing on the bridge. You can see just there north of Edoras, hoping that they would attack me there. But I think it should be pretty clear to me at this point that the AI has no intention of ever attacking any of my armies while they're standing on a bridge, and perhaps fords as well. Now, I did use the view tactical map option here to check the battlefields, because obviously I need to get rid of them. It's been a few turns, they're not going to attack me, so I need to attack them. And I think the best position to attack from is from the west. Basically, Saruman and his force left Edoras by this ford down here, and just went around like so. Now, you know what? Why describe when I can show? So anyway, here we are. There's the river, obviously. And so what I'm thinking is if I were to attack across the bridge, I would have been, like, somewhere over here. Would have been my starting zone, and the Rohirrim yonder. Which, a long, flat, or mostly flat plain, I don't think would be a good idea to challenge the Rohirric cavalry. And actually, to be honest, I think it's slightly downhill against me, though only slightly. But in either case, not a very good position. I also didn't want to run around and attack the smaller force because I believe the battlefield would be, over here. And so once again, they would be basically fighting downhill at me, or I would have to charge uphill at them, and that didn't seem like a good idea. So what I'm hoping is that the battle will actually take place more or less in these trees here. There's even like a slight hill here, ever so slight, but any advantage I can get against the Rohirrim cavalry would be nice. Or even, like, there's a slight hill here, too. But my hope is that I can use the trees and or the hills in this area to blunt, to at least to some degree, the Rohirrim cavalry so that they're not quite as ferocious a force on the attack. Though, to be honest, even if I can't really use this very much to my advantage, I kind of have to fight them anyways. And I just think that this is probably better than fighting them over here or down there. All right, but anyway, so here we are back on the campaign map, and that's basically how I came to my decision. So here we are. We're going to go ahead and attack... Oh, his name is just Eored? That's interesting. I thought Eored was like the name of like a Rohirrim division, if you will, like a division of the army. I seem to remember that in the books, they were referred to as Eoreds, like when they were charging at the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. Theoden led the first Eored, and then I think not Theodred, he was dead by that point, but some of his other captains led the other Eoreds around the one that he was commanding. But I guess maybe it could also be a name. Or maybe it's even just spelt differently, or it's a different word altogether and I'm not remembering properly. But anyway, enough. Let's just attack. Let's not delay any further, even though I want to. Oh, I want to. This could end so badly, especially since I didn't even look at the reinforcements for you guys. But yeah, they have just a bit of artillery, even more cavalry, included the hated archers and skirmishers, and a couple of extra infantry units, so that's a little unfortunate. I don't think they'll be able to actually enter onto the battlefield at first, though, because there's 20 units here, and they can't have more than that. So as units are defeated, I believe more of them will be able to come onto the battlefield. But anyway, let us get down to the campaign, or to the battle map, and get this show on the road. Okay, guys, welcome to the battle. And if I'm going to sound a little irritated in this battle, it's because I very much am. To explain things, basically this isn't the battle of whatever the bridge... this isn't the actual battle that's occurring outside of Edoras. I've already fought that battle, and it was a victory for us, though costly. And when I went to check the recording later, basically it was terrible screen tearing. It was as if like VSync had been turned off, and I considered it basically... I mean, I guess it's not unwatchable, but it looks bad. It looks bad. So what I did is I dropped a save, and now I'm going to fight that battle again and try to at least somewhat recreate what happened in that battle. But we're going to pick up from that save that I dropped, because I basically want the campaign to continue from the end of that battle with like the same casualties and stuff, because if I do better in this battle now, the army will be in a better state, and I don't want that. I want it to be as it was when I left the last battle, or the last attempt at this battle, I should say. And again, VSync is turned on. There is no screen tearing. I'm just checking the preview right now in OBS, so please forgive the waving of the camera around. I'm trying to just see if it happens again. It doesn't look like it is. I still have no idea what happens. VSync was turned on, and I couldn't see it here in Medieval 2. I only noticed it when I checked the footage later, so I assume it was an issue with OBS. And I was looking over the settings, trying to figure out what the heck the problem was. Couldn't find any problem. Everything was just as it had always been. I haven't changed the settings in who knows how long. So I just sort of restarted it, closed OBS, started it back up, and it was fine. So I guess something got mucked up there and it needed a restart. So anyway, just prepping you guys for that, because I am going to mention it throughout the battle that, hey, this is what I think I did during the actual battle, but the battle result is probably going to be different from what you'll see on the campaign map at the end because of that. All right, but anyway, no more belly aching. Let's just get right into it. So what I have is a long line of infantry, and it's exactly as you see them here. From this spear guard to this spear guard is from this spear guard to this spear guard here, with everyone in between. Now, you may notice, though, that the wargs are also amongst my troops here. They're amongst the Bane Guard and the Berserkers. Basically, what I'm trying to do is, since the Rohirrim have a lot of cavalry, and we know that they're quite devastating on the charge, I did some testing in some custom battles and found that this kind of worked out, where, like, the wargs and the infantry would kind of both take casualties from the charge, but each would take less, and then they were better at fighting off the cavalry when there was an armor-piercing heavy infantry unit, plus the wargs who can, like, scare horses and stuff. And it worked out pretty well, and so I decided to try it in this battle. Now, in the first attempt at this battle, or the actual attempt is what I should probably call it, since we're going to be keeping the results of that one. In the actual battle, I basically had the wargs only do that on the very first charge, and after that, I kept pulling them out and then charging them back into our lines to basically help out the infantry wherever I thought they could help. And I guess I'll try and recreate that here as the battle progresses. Now, as you can see, though, I was also wrong about where the battle would take place on the campaign map, or when I did the little preview of the battle map. I thought it would take place over here, but no, we're actually doing it way over here. And we actually seem to have the almost an advantage. We can almost be at the top of the hill here and fight down at the Rohirrim. And so what I'm doing is basically having my army charge forward to be more on the hill here, though the enemy is so close to us that realistically we'll fight more on this kind of level terrain here. Well, I guess there's a slight slope down towards them, but I think the battle will be fought more or less on level terrain with the enemy. All right, and now with those explanations out of the way, let's just get right into the battle, and I'm just going to wave my camera around one more time. Please forgive me for doing it. Okay, I don't see any tearing on the preview in OBS, so we should be fine. Should be fine. Everyone go ahead and take up your positions. Oh, did I tell these guys not to fire at will? Okay, I didn't. Or did. But I didn't tell them to go into guard mode. The archers are one thing that's going to be very different from the way the actual battle went. Because I actually had the archers out of position at one point, and they were charged by some cavalry. The casualties were unfortunate, I assure you. Oh, wargs. Oh, dang, I was going to have the wargs charge out there, because that happened in the actual battle where these skirmishers charged our lines, and of course, they were just throwing spears. They weren't, like, actually fighting us. So I send the wargs out there to basically just make them go away. And plus, I guess, actually catching them and fighting them for a bit. But the enemy infantry is close behind, so I quickly tell them to come back, especially since also the enemy cavalry is coming. Pull back. Okay. Spear Guard are getting in over there. This kind of happened, I suppose. I don't think the Spear Guard got fully charged in the side like this. In fact, I feel like we're going to have to probably pull out the wargs here. And again, this is kind of what happened, where the wargs had to basically pull back and assist kind of where needed. I'm not going to, like, try and, you know, duplicate every single maneuver, but I am going to try somewhat. We definitely want the Spear Guard to pull forward here. See, I did have the archers start firing on those skirmishers, so let's have them do that. Having the wargs charge downhill at the Rohirrim like this, I think, will help. I'm pretty sure I did that a couple of times throughout the battle, so it is what it is. Oh, it was around this time that I had Saruman use his ability as well. Just because I figured he only has one use of it, so we might as well use it somewhat at the beginning of the battle. Have these guys charge in the side here. Okay, the Spear Guard are doing a good job of holding that side, so I'm not going to charge in the cavalry yet. Oh, let's have the wargs defend themselves, though. That would be a good idea. The reinforcements also did come immediately onto the battlefield. That's who these guys are down here. I thought that because they had 20 units on the battlefield, they wouldn't be able to do that. But no, that did not happen. Hey, come on, get over here. Well, where are you guys going? Get over here. Maybe part of the Lancer unit is, like, stuck over there or something? It's a little weird, I guess. Okay, you guys, get in there and kill them. You guys get up here. See, I'm trying to get my troops up the hill here. Have the wargs charge in there, because I want them to fight the cavalry uphill, or downhill, not uphill. And right now, we have a slight downhill slope on us instead of a slight downhill slope on them. So that's why I keep charging the infantry forward on that side. Okay, seriously, how are you guys just pulling through like this? Okay, where is Saruman? Okay, he is in there. Let's go ahead and get him to commit his bodyguard. I don't like how slowly our units respond. I know I've said that in the past, but, like, it takes forever for our units to actually turn around and fight. Alright, let's get the wargs over here now, and let's rearrange the Dunlendings as much as possible. Oh, and let's get the Berserkers over here as well, actually. Okay, these guys actually seem to be doing pretty well on that side. Oh, I see that there are archers back there. Why don't we fire at them? I don't know that I fired at them in the actual battle, to be honest, but it kind of is what it is. Let's get the Berserkers in here, actually, to help the bodyguard.
They have lost half their men.
Oh, they turned around and pulled off. Okay, let's send... Oh, you guys, stay here, fight. Actually, can I pull them back? I don't think I can. Okay, you guys, stop firing at them. Fire over there somewhere. Okay, seriously. Nice job just pulling right through my troops. Okay, now they're fighting the spearmen, which is not as good. Not nearly as good.
Captured the enemy's general.
All right, let's pull these guys forward, and let's see, there are berserkers in there. Let's pull them forward. There's a couple of warg units over here. Let's get them over here. Okay, let's try and pull this spear guard out of there. I think the Bane Guard would just be a better fight for them. Let's have these guys over here. Oh, no. Berserkers get over there. Then Lendings face in that direction. All right, let's have these wargs charge downhill at those peasant scouts to get them to leave. All right, let's pull these berserkers back now. Oh, archers, stop firing. All right, time to attack these guys over here. This is not at all how this part of the battle went, by the way, but it kind of is what it is at this point. All right, let's pull these units back since they're just kind of getting further and further away from our lines. Hopefully the Bane Guard should be able to just eliminate those guys somewhat quickly. Oh yeah, the ballista did start firing at one point in the battle. All right, let's get these guys up here. Let's get the wargs to try and stop them somewhat so that the spear guard can catch them. Actually, you know what? You wargs stay here. Oh, I seem to have muted the sound somehow. Okay, there we go. I must have hit a hotkey somewhere that did that. Okay, actually, you guys go ahead and fight them. You guys turn around. You Bane Guard turn around. Spear Guard, get out of there. Berserkers, charge them. And of course, their cavalry just pulls right through my lines and is able to attack without losing anyone. All right, let's get the berserkers charging downhill here. Or, you know, I guess he can just charge right there if he wishes. The wargs are after him, so that's fine, I guess. Okay, let's line up these guys over here just to prevent any more units from coming up here. And these guys are fighting a lot longer than they did in the actual battle. Like, this flank did fight longer than the other side. But, oh, and also, it says here both enemy generals died. That actually didn't happen in the actual battle. In the actual battle, one of the enemy generals got away. In fact, he was the only survivor. Of course he was. And, the other enemy general was captured, and they end up not accepting the ransom, so I guess you could say he died in the battle. Get in there and charge them. Yeah, casualties honestly are very different. I mean, I think overall they are mostly the same, but I think they're spread out amongst the different units. Because a lot of the fighting that happened out here kind of didn't happen in the actual battle. It more or less kind of happened somewhere closer to the actual battle line, but... I mean, I guess it's close enough to what happened. What I might do is actually just... I might post as a separate video the original battle for anyone who wants to see it and who can stomach the, the screen tearing. Okay, these wargs are over here. Why don't we get them out here chasing after the enemy over here? I think the battle is basically won. I think the ballistas are probably the only unit that is actually still fighting. Probably. Oh, yep. And now they're not fighting either. All right. Now, once again, I'm just going to wave the camera around here to check the preview. Okay, there's no horrible screen tearing or anything. Okay, very good. All right, but anyway, I'm not going to show you guys the rest of this because, again, this is just going to be, I guess, for your entertainment. And I guess it was kind of the actual battle that happened. I think the only serious difference is that the archers suffered far heavier casualties in the actual battle because I put them over here on the right flank. And I was going to have them fire into the backs of the enemy here, but the reinforcements were sending forward their cavalry, and they were caught out of position, and we lost a few of them. No, we didn't lose any unit in its entirety, but they suffered some pretty severe losses, is where I'm going with that. And I guess there's no point in looking at the casualty totals for this battle either, since, again, it's not going to be the actual battle that we end up keeping. So, in fact, what I'll do now is I'll just cut the battle right here, and I'll splice in the bit where we see the after-battle report from the actual battle. So you guys can see the casualties and everything. There's going to be a bit of screen tearing, and I do apologize for that, but I don't think I moved the camera around too much, so it should be fine. So, anyway, I'll turn it over to the me from the past. Well, that was a little unfortunate, in particular having our archers caught on the side like that. Well, we definitely got a bunch of healing in different places amongst different units. This long spear unit recovered a fair number of its guys, as did that spear guard, as did the wargs, as along with the scattering of other healed, recovered units. I guess that's fine. Actually, the wargs did particularly well in this battle. Because remember, this column is casualties inflicted, not routers. Routers would be prisoners caught. And I mean, they did do a good job in that regard as well, but they did actually kill a lot of guys. Honestly, I don't think I used the tactic that I described, where I had the wargs fight like in line with the infantry. I really had them more pull back and then charge in to help the infantry as the battle went on. Though I guess they did assist in the early stages of the battle as well, sitting in line there. But I guess it worked pretty well, if I'm being honest. I mean, the Bane Guard here, look at 274, and these Berserkers, 231. This Bane Guard, 227, 191 for the Spear Guard. All right, well, anyway, let's take this back to the campaign map. Oh, look at all that money. Oh, but I don't want these guys escaping. Oh, but, you know, most of the, like, the really big numbers are amongst, like, peasant militia and axemen. So maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Oh, but they probably can't afford that. Wouldn't be able to pay it. Well, you know what? Let's find out. As one might expect. All right, how many of them got away?
This way.
Also, where did they go?
Hurry up. This way.
Okay, there they are.
I have nothing to say to you, scum.
Oh, wait, he's alive? I thought we... Oh, wait, Oh, it was the other general, wasn't it? The other general was the one that we captured. This guy got away. And apparently he was the only one who got away. That's not fair! Why is it always their general who gets away? I mean, that doesn't always happen, but I think something like that happened in... I can't remember which campaign it was. Actually, was it earlier in this campaign? I don't remember. I feel like I raged about that sort of thing before, earlier in the campaign anyways. I I mean, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. I still have, you know, my wargs are all still, you know, proper fighting units, except for maybe this one, which is kind of at half strength. The Spear Guard and the Bane Guards are both still easily, you know, fighting units. The Long Spears are suffering quite badly, which is unfortunate because they're also a unit that's hard to replace. And the Berserkers are suffering. I guess the Berserkers and the Long Spears will have to fight with each other in the battle line in the future. Kind of like they do in the streets of the settlements that we fight, or that we attack. And of course, I lost these archers. Very unfortunate, though archers are pretty easy to replace, so that's not so bad.
Listen up.
All right, well, I guess we'll sit inside of Edoras, and we will tax them to the hilt. And now the money is looking much better. Though we can't stay for very long. We do have to leave. Because, I mean, before Rohan just spawns more armies into existence, we need to charge down here and carry out the plan of invading more territory down here. And I do have my diplomat ready to hand over territory to Mordor once we've taken the settlement down here. I'm again just hoping Ugluk can kind of hold off guys to the north up there. All right, but anyway, it looks like that's going to be it for now, so I will let you guys go, and I will bring you back as the war continues.